Okay, here's the drone. Now I just gotta make 200 more. Hello, this is Ken. I like making things. I love finding affordable ways to DIY a variety of things. Money can't buy everything, except maybe figures. I love collecting figures and recreating iconic scenes. Every figure deserves to shine on my display. So every week I ask myself the same question, and answer it by creating something I'm proud of. Join my weekly adventure by subscribing to my channel. Leave your feedback and suggestions down below. I often get inspired by your comments, and I hope I can inspire you too. Last time, I recreated the iconic fairy scene from Spider-Man Homecoming. It was a fun challenge, especially with the webs. Check that video out if you haven't already. Today, I want to do a diorama display for Far From Home, especially with Mysterio. I fixed that figure a while ago, but he just doesn't look right without his special effects and drones. I don't want to display him standing alone on a shelf. He needs a proper diorama display. I feel like the most memorable location from the movie is the final battle scene in London, where Mysterio created the final elemental monster and used the hundreds of drones to attack Spider-Man all over the Tower Bridge. That whole fight sequence was so fun to watch. I want to recreate that scene with Mysterio for my diorama. So, can I make it? First, I want Mysterio to be flying or floating in the air. It just seems like a Mysterio thing to do. And to do that, I'm going to make some green smoky effects for him to float on. I'm going to use my good old trusty paper clips, especially these colorful ones. I don't think I'll ever use these brightly colored ones in real life. But in the end, the colors of the paper clips don't really matter, because I'll be painting over the smoky effect. I want a spiral-like smoke effect under his feet, so I'm going to twist them together like this. There we go, a mini cyclone. And then Mysterio float on it, somehow. I'll figure that out when I get there. Next, I'm going to use my glue gun to create the smoke. I've done this combo quite a few times now, from Iron Man and Rescue's blast effects to Spider-Man's webs, to falling debris. This combination is quite versatile and can be made into various effects pieces. The only issue is that it's hard to have precise control, and it's very difficult to undo a mistake. But it teaches me not to be a perfectionist. Instead, embrace the little mistakes and adapt. The best way to learn sometimes is to learn from the mistakes. The other good thing is, smoke doesn't have to look a specific way. As long as it's abstract and somewhat resembles smoke, then it should be fine. Okay, time to paint it. I'm going to start with a brighter green. I personally find it easier to darken paint than to lighten paint. So if it ends up too bright, I can always just add layers to darken it. I ended up adding another shade of green here and there to give it more dimension. I really like how the green turned out. It's very pleasing to look at. Alright, next. I'm going to build the tower bridge. I want it to be relatively simple, nothing too complicated. Otherwise it will be too difficult to fold. And by keeping it simple, the focus can remain on the more important objects. Here's the tower printed. Cut, cut, cut. And fold, fold, fold. Luckily, the tower is mostly just rectangles and triangles, so it's relatively easy to fold and glue. The peaks are a bit harder to glue because it's harder to hold the shapes in place. Okay, here's one tower. Let me copy and paste the other one in. Ta-da! I got my towers. Now just gotta glue the walkway in between. Okay, here's the tower bridge all finished. It's a simplified recreation, and with all the things I'm going to add to it, it won't be that noticeable. I also attached a couple of paper clips onto the back of the tower bridge. They'll come in handy later. Now onto the fun part. Let me build the drones. Since they're going to be relatively small, I don't want them to be too complicated too. Otherwise, it's going to be a struggle to fold. I plan on making multiples of these. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. Let me see if it translates to paper. Cut, cut, cut. And fold, fold, fold. Okay, this is so much more fun to fold and glue. I kept the arms and the body as separate pieces. This actually makes the folding so much more enjoyable, because I don't have to worry about accidentally ripping the paper or gluing the wrong tabs together. And finally, the lower part of the drone. This is where the guns are located. I'm keeping the guns boxy so it's easier to fold. They look strange up close, as a whole, I think they look great. Especially when there are a bunch of them. Oh, okay, they look like an army of spiders. I cut up some pieces of toothpicks here. I'm gonna paint them black and silver so I can add additional guns to the drones. Just gonna glue 3 on each side before I glue the arms onto the body. I also attach a paper clip onto the back of the drone too, so I can pose the drones with it later. Okay, here's the finished drone. It turned out so good. I don't mind the angular look. I think I captured the overall look pretty well. Now I have all the elements ready to go. Let's put the green smoke under Mysterio. Ta-da! He's in the air, yay! Now let's add the drone to the display. I'm gonna extend the paper clip and attach it to the back of the tower. Okay, there we go. The drone is flying too. I want everything to be kinda attached to each other so they can move as a whole, and I can still adjust the positioning individually. Now let's use the glue gun again to make the smoke trail for this lonely drone. Okay, in the movie, the drones levitate by themselves, but I'm not a magician. I prefer blending the support stands into the scene. I find that less distracting personally. Alright, I'm gonna do the rest off screen. Be right back. Back! I skipped the boring part. It's just me twisting a bunch of paper clips, extending them to the back of the towers, and using the glue gun to create those smoky effects. I try to place the drones in various positions so they look more dynamic. So they look like they're all coming from the tower going towards Mysterio's target. The smoke trails are slightly distracting, but I like the 3D effect. I love 3D things. So overall, this is a win. What do you think? Do you like what I've done? Let me know down below. I think the drones enhances this diorama so much more. The tower bridge is out of scale, but it's mostly there as support. The drones are all attached to it, and I actually have a little piece of paper clip going under Mysterio's cape to support him too. Mysterio and his drones are the main subjects, so I don't mind the tower bridge being so small. This will also save me some shelf space too. I'm really happy with how the drones turned out. They really look like deadly drones, and there's this sense of motion to them. You can tell Mysterio is the one controlling and sending the drones out to attack. This is also very fun to film too. Because there's so much elements to it, it looks so dynamic in motion. And because everything else is monochromatic, Mysterio doesn't get overshadowed. The smoke trails on the drones also lead your eyes towards the center. Your eyes will ultimately end up on Mysterio, the main focus of this display. You notice that in famous Renaissance paintings too, especially the ones with lots of people. Their arms and fingers and lights will always draw your eyes to the main subject, or they'll guide you through the entire paintings. This is kinda the same effect I'm seeing here. Nice! Okay, let's end this video with a quick photo shoot. I think this display works better in video or in person, because there's so much depth to it. It's harder to portray that depth in photos. Without motion, everything blends together and looks flatter. Ah, it looks better from the sides. Now you can tell where each drone is, and the sense of motion too. Ooh, okay, I like this photo. This one captures the scene pretty well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give this video a like and subscribe to see more Marvel Legends related videos. Stay inspired, and I'll see you soon. I can make it, so can you.